Hey guys, welcome back to POMPBERRY. Today's look is based on these creepy masks made by a Japanese mask maker called Sarokichi, and I've wanted to do this look for a really long time, ever since I saw my friend Toshi, aka Dolphy, do a look based on his masks. And for this look, I kind of combined two of his masks because I really like the bottom portion of one mask and all the eyes of another one. So if you want to see how I did this, keep on watching. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. Now let's get to it. So I've already done my foundation, but I did not cover the redness around my eyes. You want that for this look. And I've gone ahead and covered up my eyebrows. If you want to learn how to do that, I have a tutorial that I'm going to link up here and down below. Then I'm going to start with a NYX Slide On Glide On lip pencil in the color Bedrose. And I'm going to start mapping out the joints around my mouth. Then I'm taking the NYX lip liner in the color Rosy Sunset, and I'm going to line my waterline and apply it to my inner corners. I just want to make the eyes look really red, so I'm kind of spreading this around. The eyes don't really look infected, but they do look tired and red. I'm also adding this to some parts of the mouth joints, or openings, I don't know what to call that. Now going in with the Tarte Shape Tape, I'm going to conceal my eyebrows. I was just waiting for the glue to dry a little bit before I did this. Now taking the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick in the color Work. I'm going to be applying this all over my lids and around my eyes. This is kind of the base color for my eyes. As you can see, it looks very natural. It looks like my eyes are naturally red, and that's what we're going for. Then I'm taking the Bedrose liner again, and I'm starting to map out the eyes. I mean the fake eyes, not my real eyes. And coloring in the other eye. Make sure to sharpen your pencil so that you can get really precise lines when mapping things out. For this, I was just following my reference picture. There's not much to it. Then going in with a ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color 00, which is just a white concealer. I'm going to start drawing in my fake teeth. I'm using a small flat lip brush for this so that I can have a very precise application. I'm also using it to fill in the fake eyes that I drew on. For this step, there's not much to it. You just want to create a nice, even white base. Then going in with the NYX Lip Lingerie in the color Exotic. I'm taking that on a very small detail paintbrush, and I'm starting to draw the eyelids and the creases around my fake eyes. And I'm kind of smudging it out as I go, making the lids that I've drawn on look pink to match my own. I'm also blurring the lines so that they don't look super harsh. And then I'm applying the color more intensely on the inner corners of those eyes, just darkening those areas a little bit. If you don't have a lot of practice with drawing eyes, I would suggest trying to draw eyes on paper first. I think that would really help. Then I'm using that color to extend my own eyelid. I'm kind of extending the outer corner of my eye, but lining it up with my crease. And just repeating the process on all the other eyes. Then I'm taking the ColourPop Cosmetics Ultra Matte Lip in the color Femme, and I'm going over the lines I created to start adding more depth. I'm concentrating this on the outer and inner corners of the eyes, or wherever I want to start creating a shadow. Then going in with the Lunatic Cosmetics Contour Palette Volume 1, I'm taking this light gray color and I'm starting to shade around the eyeballs. So for this, you'll want to shade the corners of the eyes. I'm also shading my teeth, and I'm just kind of going around one of the sides with this. You don't want to shade both sides, and repeating the same thing on all the eyes. Then I'm taking this darker color and just intensifying that a little bit. I'm using a slanted brush for this so that I can stay really close to the outline. You don't want to end up painting the whole eye gray. You just want to give volume to the eyeballs, so you just want to shade around the outer edges. Same thing with the fangs or teeth or whatever you want to call them. Then going in with the NYX Liquid Suede Lipstick in the color Stone Fox, I'm going to start drawing the irises? Iri? No, I know that iri isn't correct. That's just an inside joke between me and Adam. Just ignore me. And the eyes are all kind of looking in different directions. That aspect of it makes it extra spooky, in my opinion. And I'm wearing gray contacts, so I'm drawing the eyes to match. You can feel free to draw other color eyes to match your own. Then I'm taking the Blackmoon Cosmetics Liquid Lipstick in the color Cider. And this is my all-time favorite lipstick, and it's discontinued, so I'm only going to use a little teeny tiny bit. And I'm just applying this over the gray, because my contacts are more of a warm tone gray, and at the time I didn't own Ashes by Blackmoon yet. Ashes would have been perfect for this, but I just wanted to warm up the gray a little bit, make it a tiny bit more yellowish. Then back in with a contour palette, I'm using this red blush color, and I'm going to start shading around the eyes. I'm just intensifying the inner corners and the upper and lower lids. I'm basically concentrating the shading around the edges. I'm leaving the eyelids themselves kind of blank, and I'm using a fluffy brush to just blend this out in larger areas as well. So things with eyes generally freak me out, so I don't know why I even did this in the first place. But yeah, what's your fear? Then I'm using the darkest shade in the contour palette, and I'm going to deepen those contours even more, and I'm going to give even more depth to those eyes. I'm also shading around my own eyes so that I can match the contour that I'm doing on the fake eyes. So whatever I do on my eyes, I do on the fake eyes and vice versa. As you can see, this color really adds dimension to everything because it's a cool toned shadow, so it will really help with that 3D effect. And I'm using it on the teeniest, tiniest pencil brush. Then I'm taking that same color and I'm going to start shading around my mouth area, the mouth opening, I still don't know what to call this. And I'm also shading around the fake teeth. Then I'm taking this slightly warmer shade and using it to shade around the teeth as well. And I'm just basically going around all the different moving parts of the mouth, if that makes sense. So I'm going on both sides of the lines that I drew. But as you can see, I'm leaving a gap between the shading and the line. And I'm going to get into that more later. I'm going to be highlighting that area and it's going to give a really, really cool effect. I'm also shading the outer corners of my mouth to make them look a little bit extended. Now for some highlighting, I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape and I'm highlighting any areas that I want to bring out. So you shade anything that you want to look sunken in and you highlight anything that you want to look more prominent. Now here on the lips, I'm highlighting the very edge right next to the red line that I drew earlier. And as you can see, this just adds a ton of dimension. It makes it look like there's an actual edge there. And so now the side of my face looks like it's a piece, like the piece of a mask. I'm also highlighting the edge of my own lips so that it looks like it's a part of those pieces. And I'm just layering this a few times to get the intensity that I want. I'm also going to start highlighting my cheekbone, and this will give a really good contrast to the shading that I just did. I'm also going to highlight my jawline for the same reason, and I'm not applying any of this concealer to where I shaded. Now back to highlighting some of these fake eyes. I'm basically focusing the highlight on the inner corners and on the center of the lids, both top and bottom. And the face around the eyes is kind of distorted, so I'm trying to create volume in certain areas as well, because it's like the eyes are pushing the skin that's on the face, so it creates these folds. And so I'm just highlighting every single fold to make it look like it's the actual skin that's been kind of pushed to the side. It's super weird, I know. Here I'm highlighting this area that's kind of like a new brow bone area. That's what I was talking about with the different dimensions and different shapes on the face. I'm trying to simulate these new volumes on my face. And on the masks it works perfectly because it's a sculpture, but with makeup it's a little bit trickier. You have to try to simulate new shapes on the face with just paint. And I'm just highlighting next to all the shading that I did because you can see this really brings it out. Now I'm taking this light blush color and just applying it to the tip of my nose. This is a very sickly look, so we're going for severe flu here. I'm also applying it around my mouth and around the edges of the mouth openings. Then I'm also using it around some of the eyes, just making everything look really sickly and infected, kind of. It's like I'm sick and then all my extra eyes are sick as well. I don't know. I'm also making sure to get my Cupid's bow and under my nose. Then I'm taking the white concealer again and I'm further highlighting the eyelids and inner corners. And as you can see, I'm just kind of dotting this on and it's just creating these little points of light that really help to add dimension to everything. And it kind of makes everything look wet and glossy and even grosser than it already is. And I'm doing the same to my own eyes so that it matches the fake ones, just dotting that on my lids and my inner corners. I'm also applying it under my eyes to kind of create these eye bags, and dotting it around the mouth area as well to further accentuate those edges. Now I'm taking the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in the color Deep, and I'm using that small paintbrush again, and I'm just applying it to the openings of the mouth. So I know I started with pink, but that was just to map it out and create a base. Now I'm trying to make it appear as if you can see through those tiny, tiny cracks and into my mouth. I'm also taking that product and applying it to the lash line of the fake eyes, just to give them a little bit more depth. And I'm starting to map out the pupils. The pupils will have to be darker than this, but this is just the initial mapping out. As you can see, the pupils all vary in size as well. That's a little detail that will create more interest to the look. Now I'm going in with black and I'm going to be using the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lipstick in the color Friday. And I'm just going over the very center of those lines in the mouth area. So I still kind of want to see the brown that I just applied, but I want to deepen the very center of those lines. I'm also drawing a line in the inner part of my upper lips. And I'm filling in those pupils with the black now. I'm also applying a little bit of the black to the fake lash lines. Now I'm taking the NYX Lip Lingerie in Exotic again, but applying it to the center of my lips and smudging it out with a Q-tip. I just want to give a little bit of depth to my lips. As you can see, I also applied it where I extended my upper lip, so I'm applying it outside the outer corners of my lip. Now going in with the Suva Beauty Hydroliner in Space Panda, I'm creating very intense highlights on my teeth, or on my fake teeth, just creating little points of light, kind of creating a squiggly line down the middle and a highlight at the base and the tip of the teeth. Then I'm also using this to draw reflections in my fake eyes, and I want them to match the reflections in my eyes. So I'm being very specific about the shape of these reflections, so I'm doing ring light reflections. And this is super important if you want to be as realistic as possible. You want to make sure that all the eyes, including your own, have the same reflection. So just base it off of whatever light source you have. I'm also highlighting my Cupid's bow, just dotting the product on, and highlighting my upper lip a little bit. Then going in with the RCMA No Color Powder, I am just dusting that very lightly wherever I have exposed skin, so not over the fake eyes. Then I'm taking this pale yellow shade from the Lunatic Cosmetics contour palette, and I'm setting my highlights even more, just intensifying them a little bit more. So everywhere that I applied the Shape Tape before, I'm going in and applying this on top. And you'll see that this really helps to accentuate everything because it is quite a lot paler than my own skin. I'm concentrating it especially on the corners of where all the mouth pieces meet, and I'm highlighting around the shading around my eyes to make those shaded areas look even deeper and sunken in. And I'm concentrating it next to all the inner corners of the fake eyes. This is the step that I think adds the most dimension to everything. So really try to think where light would bounce off of your face if you actually had these extra eyes in your face. Now going back in with the dark contour color, I'm just deepening the corners of the fake eyes a little bit more. And then I'm taking white and highlighting the very edge of the eyes. Kind of how I did with the mouthpieces. This is just going to give the illusion that there's an actual edge right there. Now time for some fake lashes, and I'm going to be using individual clusters or the clusters that come in threes. And I'm just gluing this onto the lash line of all my eyes. And the reason I used the little clusters is because each eye has a different shape and different size. So this way you can just customize the lashes as you need to. Oh, and this is an important little detail. Because this big fake eye connects to my own eye, I'm applying lashes right next to my own and onto the fake eye. That way it's just one big old lash line. I'm also applying some of these clusters onto my own eyes so that I have similar lashes to all the other eyes. Then I'm taking the Hydroliner on a little fan brush, and I'm going to be painting all the eyelashes white. Now, you're going to have to do multiple layers of this if you want to get them really, really white. I didn't really mind having dark roots to my lashes. I just concentrated on getting the white on the tips, but I did apply more than one coat so that they'd be really, really white. Now I'm going in with the LA Girl Gloss Topper in clear, and I'm just applying that to my lips. Then I'm putting on my wig. Then all you have to do is put in some fake fangs. I just put in some bottom ones, and that's it. Now you're a creepy ass little thing. I don't even know what this is, man. But this look was a lot of fun to do. It was super challenging. If you want to train yourself on creating volume on a flat surface, this is the look to try. It is very, very challenging, but it gives a really cool effect. Yeah. I'm going to take these off so I can talk. Initially, I was going to draw the eyelashes on, but Adam suggested I glue them on, and I quite like the effect of the glued on lashes. So thanks, baby. You're welcome. I thought about putting gloss on the eyes and everything, but I figured it would get really messy before I got a chance to take pictures, so I just kept it on the lips. I actually had a lot of fun doing this. Figuring out all the folds in the skin was really interesting. It makes me want to try to recreate another of his masks in the future. But let me know what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are the eyes weird? I don't know. I got kind of freaked out when I started doing the first few eyes. Then I got used to it. But it's still kind of weird. So that's it for today, but don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more 31 Days of POMPBERRY. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!